television studio. It's been very busy lately. And I'm your tour guide. I'm CJ. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome aboard. We're going to get going in just a moment. Our driver's joining us. His name is Grant. Everybody say hi, Grant. Grant says hi. He's going to take good care of us on the tour. So yeah, it's been real busy on the Universal lot. We're home to TV shows like The Voice, The Kelly Clarkson Show, the Netflix comedy series Never Have I Ever, movies are filmed here like Us, written and directed by Jordan Peele, Hobbs and Shaw. It's a Sunday, which is usually the quietest day on the lot, but you see where all the action takes place. So I'm adjusting my camera and beginning. Anybody doing the studio tour for the first time? Hi, first timers, welcome. Who's doing this for not the first time? The rest of you, no kidding. Welcome back, grizzled veterans of the tour. Let's wave bye-bye to the theme park. Bye, Jesse. I see you. That's with my friend. Okay, let's meet my co-host for the tour. You may know him as the host of The Tonight Show. Here he is.
You made it. Aquí vamos con la... I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Her name is CJ. His name is Grant.
I love it. Even though...
CJ.
Ahí va el primo Jonathan, adelante,
Safety rules. First, if you need guest assistance during this tour, like if you have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red E-cord. It runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll come back and assist you as soon as it's safe for me to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated with your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any point during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please, no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared. The tour is going to feature loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and many water effects. You're going to want your cameras out for great photo opportunities, but do keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please do not use selfie sticks during the tour. Please and thank you. And that is the end of the safety rules. And we've already left the theme park. Now we're heading into the heart of our studio, where we've been making movies for over 100 years.
Primo me va tapando, pero ni modo. Hola niña, ¿cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te montaste aquí? Bájenla. Ella. Yeah, they go by you.
So as we cruise down the Universal timeline, you can see we have lovely posters representing just a few of the thousands of films we've made over the years. We've been making movies at Universal since 1912. That's when our company was founded, actually in New York. Our company founder was Carl Lemley. He moved out to the West Coast a few years later and opened up this place as Universal City. And we are a real city. We have our own zip code and our own fire station coming up on the right. Looks like both fire trucks are in the house. Sometimes we even see a firefighter and they wave at us, but I don't see one right now. But rest assured, there's firefighters in there somewhere. Here's some photos of Universal City's opening day festivities. It was March 15, 1915. There's Carl Lemley, our company founder. And from day one, we actually invited in the general public to get a behind-the-scenes look at how movies get made. In the early days, you could get it for a quarter. That was the admission price. And for a quarter, you got a boxed lunch, and you got to watch silent movies as they were being filmed. So it's changed and evolved over the years, but we're still bringing the public in to tour every day, carrying on that awesome tradition. Now, when our tram gets to the bottom of the timeline, we're going to be entering the front lot. This is where a lot of the action happens, because this is where we keep most of our sound stages. First up on the left is stage 12, our biggest sound stage on the lot. On the outside, it looks like a warehouse. That's the deal with all sound stages. On the inside, though, it's like a blank canvas for filmmakers and TV shows to create any kind of world they want. All these scenes coming up on our screens filmed in stage 12. All those iconic movie moments shot in the same soundstage. Crazy. All right, up next, you'll notice on the right-hand side a lot of construction going on. This is not construction for the studio, it's for the theme park. All of this is going to be Super Nintendo Land. A whole new land on the lower lot of our theme park. We're very excited about it. Back to the studio, though, on the left, stage 18. That was just used on Friday for some promotional work for The Voice. Stages 17 and 16 coming up on the left are currently home to Saved by the Bell. They were just filming in there also this past Friday. Those two stages are the former home of the NBC comedy series Superstore.
Have some patience for one another. You know, the heat makes us all act. Your face stays where it is, it's gonna get
Superstore starred America Ferrera and Ben Feldman. They ran for 6 seasons. The front lot's also home to the Kelly Clarkson Show and a new show that's been filming here called Mr. Mayor that stars Holly Hunter and Ted Danson. On the left now we have lots of trailers. We use trailers for all kinds of things. Dressing rooms for actors, that's a big one. Hair and makeup, costume storage. Trailers are great because they're mobile, and this is a big studio. We're almost 400 acres in size, so the more mobile we can be, the better. Usually where there's a cluster of trailers, filming is not far away from that. Next on the left, though, our second largest sound stage, stage 21. Also currently home to Saved by the Bell. Movies are filmed in there too, though, like Evan Almighty, Snow White and the Huntsman, and Apollo 13, directed by Ron Howard. Here he is to talk about it.
Realism was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo missions still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control. Since there was no room for the elaborate camera frames and tracks we needed for the shots, we had to build our own Mission Control. Everything had to be exact.
Thank you, Ron. Well said. So movies and TV shows filmed side by side on the front line of these big sound stages. Most productions film Mondays through Fridays. The length of a workday can get pretty long, anywhere between 12 and 16 hours is the average. Up next on the left, you'll see some set pieces waiting to be used. Pieces of fences, interior walls, so those can easily be put together, snapped together basically, like a dollhouse, Legos almost, and put into a soundstage for filming. Thousands of people come to work on our lot on a working day, and they have to eat, so that's why we have Base Camp Kitchen on the left where people can get food. On your right, we have stage 44. That is currently home to Good Girls, another NBC show that films on the lot. A big hit movie called Furious 7 also did some filming in there. And stage 44 was also home to The Good Place. That was an NBC comedy series that starred Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. If you're a Good Place fan, we might see some more of The Good Place later on in the tour. Next on your right, though, this big building with posters for Boss Baby and Good Girls on it. This is not a sound stage, it's a mill where sets are constructed that then go into sound stages or out in the back lot. They also have a staff shop in there where they custom build props. Any prop you can imagine, they can make in there. And then on your left, we have bungalows. These are offices for production companies like Brownstone Productions. That's Elizabeth Banks' production company. She produced and starred in all 3 Pitch Perfect films. Illumination Entertainment has offices here as well. They made the Despicable Me films and the Secret Life of Pets films. The bungalows used to be a long time ago dressing rooms for movie stars that worked here, like Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Lucille Ball, and Paul Newman. They were basically like apartments for the stars. That was back when movie stars would be signed under long-term contracts. So they'd just be working in one studio, sometimes up to 7 years. So it made sense to give them kind of a permanent home away from home in that situation. We don't do long-term contracts anymore, though. That's why we use mobile trailers for dressing rooms usually. Past the bungalows on the left, you'll see a big building that's made up of 2 sound stages, 22 and 23, and an office space in the front. The stages were recently home to a new show called Keenan. That's going to start Keenan Thompson of Saturday Night Live. The stages were also used by Will and Grace and America's Got Talent. And the first production of film in those stages was a big TV special called Hairspray Live. It starred Jennifer Hudson and Ariana Grande. It's based on the Tony-winning musical. So far we've been checking out the front lot. In a moment, though, we're going to cross out into the big backlot of our studio with all the big exterior sets. The first part of the backlot we'll get a glimpse of once we start moving forward in a few moments will be the Metropolitan sets. We call them the Metro sets for short. And the Metro sets have been very busy. So we're just going to get a glimpse of the sets here because there's been a lot of production set up for the TV show Good Girls. So what you'll see on the left is a New York City street where movies are filmed like Hobbs and Shaw, Captain America, The First Avenger, and The Amazing Spider-Man. Up next on our screens, we're going to hear from an Oscar-winning filmmaker named Peter Jackson.
It's the original Queen I saw that movie on TV. I want to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life, sweep you up in the beach. You can't literally dance. I mean, you're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering a monster.
Ahí donde hacen las grabaciones, mira. Ahí, Nueva York.
So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to start.
Ay, güey, casi choca ese. Casi choca.
This 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet. Just put them in your hand because we're about to be
Jonah,
We'll be heading into Star Wars.
póngase las gafas.
Please be sure to
Le van a chingar los ojos.
Before we head into here, we'll hear from Peter Jackson.
We really put a lot of thought into the character.
Yo no sé si vamos a grabar aquí.
He's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. You know, he is an incredibly
Empieza la aventura en directo y en vivo. Entrando al... ¿A dónde vamos? A ver. Ay, güey. Ay, güey, ¿dónde nos venimos a meter? De la verga. Todo me están bajando. Mames todo.
Avatar and the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Pinche King Kong nos salvó.
It's a great shot of the digital projection screens. They're 40 feet tall, 80 feet long. I wonder if there's a chance to also taken some of our metropolitan sets. You see them coming up on the left here. The Good Girls has been filming out here. Before that, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was shooting on that New York City street.
Allá hacen las filmaciones, mire. Por allá. Allá firman ellos. Los gringos están locos.
And in an episode of Will and Grace, where Karen, played by Megan Mullally, takes a Universal Studios tour.
We all had our share of hard years. Me included. One time I took a drink that said Lisa on it from the coffee place. My name's not Lisa.
So one of our trams got some on-screen time there. That's not our first tram cameo, though. Take a look.
Vamos a pasar por el agua.
All those trams would also be considered picture cars. That's a term for any vehicle ever featured on screen. And up next, we're going to visit our transportation department. On the left, we have some of the most famous picture cars in film and television history.
Vienen los que usaron en la película.
Sometimes picture cars are really drivable, and sometimes not. It just depends on what the filmmaker needs and what the scene calls for. If it doesn't need to be drivable, you can make it out of a lighter material. The tank at the end of the lineup here is from Transformers. It's made mostly out of wood.
Picapiedras, el carro de los picapiedras.
Safety and the safety.
Ahí está el rojito de Rápido y Furioso.
Transformers is made mostly out of
Ese
wood.
también.
A lot lighter than a real tank, easier to move around on a film set. On the flip side of that, a lot of the Fast and Furious picture cars are really drivable. We're going to see some more picture cars up ahead in this next area. I'm going to let John Hammond do the intro for this one.
To Jurassic.
That was great, thanks, John. Okay, on either side of the tree, we're going to see props, boats, and some more picture cars, all from the Jurassic Park films. The camouflage RV coming up on the left was the mobile lab unit in the Lost World Jurassic Park. And that's also made mostly out of wood. It dangled off the edge of a cliff in one scene. Julian Morgan's barn. You can see in some places, you can tell it's made of wood.
Donde filmaron Jurassic Park,
They
miren.
also have real life dinosaurs, yeah. They like
Los
to
primos
sit.
grabaron aquí Jurassic Park, dicen ellos. Parque Jurásico. Pero no hay ni un dinosaurio ahorita. A la verga. Un pinche dinosaurio me mojó.
To go over the edge of the cliff. That's not really a cliff, that is a parking garage on the front lot of our studio. So we never left the lot to film this scene. That was a stunt woman falling in place of Julianne Moore. So if you're wondering why did they film that on the side of a parking garage as opposed to a real jungle cliff, basically it's easier, you know, to just dress up your parking garage on the lot as opposed to going to a real jungle cliff somewhere. If you're going to recreate the real world location on the lot and make it believable, then just stay here because everything here is catered to a filmmaker's needs. The real world, not so much. So the filmmakers here, and they need, let's say, rain, we can provide that pretty magic with weather effects. We're going to get a demonstration in our next stop to Old Mexico. These sets of people are going to be big fat fire. We called you Naughty. Lady Gaga filmed the music video for the song Judas here. And one of my favorites, the music video for the song Escape. Janet Jackson shot here too. Today we have a fake thunderstorm.
Cantina Cerveza Miguel. Ay, se vino el agua. Está lloviendo aquí. Está lloviendo.
The thunder is coming out of speakers that are going. Also, the raindrops are bigger than the old raindrops. The real rain is so small.
Se vino el agua. Chico de agua. Hijo de la chingada, mira ya ve. Se vino el agua, jodido. ¡Ay, chingada! ¡Si moja!
Now we're driving through another part of Old Mexico where TV shows are filmed like Westworld, Picard, and Arrested.
Vamos por México.
From Old Mexico, we're going to head into the Old West. Our western town is called Six Points, Texas. We filmed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Did some filming.
Nos andan dando una buena mojada.
Classic westerns are filmed here like Night with Chickadee with Mae West. And Destry Rides Again, that starred Marlene Dietrich. That was way back in 1939. And in Six Points, we have a lot of facades. That's a kind of set where we just built the front.